was the fact that there seemed to be some very special kind of secret going on between her and the camera, because I couldn't see it.
Paul Newman understood beauty differently than most men in Hollywood. For him, it was never just symmetry or spotlight. It was presence, intelligence, mystery. Over the years, he quietly named 6 women he believed were the most beautiful he had ever seen. Each choice reveals more about him than about them. Number 1, Sophia Loren. There was something volcanic about the way she carried herself, controlled, yet never fully contained. When Paul Newman spoke of Sophia Loren, it was with unmistakable respect for a presence that blended strength and sensuality without apology. Her beauty did not feel ornamental. It felt earned, shaped by resilience and sharpened by undeniable screen command. Loren's ascent from Italian cinema to international recognition was forged through performances that demanded emotional courage. In Two Women, directed by Vittorio De Sica, she portrayed a mother navigating the brutal realities of war with a vulnerability that felt almost documentary in its honesty. The performance earned her an Academy Award and permanently shifted her image from glamorous star to formidable actress. Newman admired that transformation deeply. He understood how easily striking features could overshadow discipline, yet Loren refused to let beauty define the limits of her craft. He once observed that she was so beautiful it almost distracted you from how good she was, acknowledging the rare tension she carried between appearance and authority.
E chi te capisce?
In that brief sequence, her expression moves from fierce protectiveness to silent devastation without excess. It is controlled, but only just. That balance fascinated Newman. He believed that true beauty revealed itself in moments of emotional risk, when composure fractures slightly and something honest slips through. Loren mastered that edge. She could dominate a frame with a glance, yet allow fragility to surface in the smallest shift of her eyes. The strength never erased the vulnerability. It contained it. Beyond that single role, Loren sustained a career defined by collaboration with some of Europe's most respected filmmakers. She navigated both international productions and intimate character studies without losing the core of her presence. Newman respected that steadiness. He valued actors who treated the camera not as a mirror, but as a witness. Loren seemed to understand instinctively how to let silence do as much work as dialogue. She once said, "Beauty is how you feel inside and it reflects in your eyes," a sentiment that aligned precisely with Newman's own belief that surface without substance fades quickly.
But I know when a little child is unhappy. I know. And how I know when a father is unreasonable.
Off-screen, there was a similar gravity. Loren carried herself with composure that never tipped into distance. She spoke openly about discipline, about hard work, and about protecting her sense of self within an industry that often demanded compromise. That independence impressed Newman. He was drawn to people who seemed rooted, who did not shift with every gust of public opinion. Loren's beauty was inseparable from that resilience. It felt lived in, not curated, and that authenticity made it formidable rather than fragile. As her career expanded across decades, the volcanic quality never cooled. It matured. The intensity that once shocked audiences evolved into a deeper assurance. Newman admired that evolution. He understood that longevity in cinema required more than talent. It required conviction. Loren once reflected, "Nothing makes a woman more beautiful than the belief that she is beautiful," revealing an understanding of confidence as something internal, not bestowed.
But the house? I do not see a house. For 2 years now you tell me soon I pay for a boat I buy house.
For Newman, that internal belief was the defining trait. Sophia Loren represented beauty reinforced by strength, sustained by craft, and grounded in self-possession. She did not perform allure. She embodied presence. She proved that elegance and intensity could coexist without contradiction, that vulnerability could amplify rather than weaken authority. That combination of discipline and instinct created something rare in Hollywood, beauty that felt powerful rather than polished. And presence, once established, does not diminish. It endures long after the spotlight shifts. Number 2, Audrey Hepburn. Grace can be louder than spectacle when it is rooted in sincerity. In Audrey Hepburn, Paul Newman admired a presence that never demanded attention yet quietly owned every frame. Her elegance felt instinctive rather than constructed, revealing a beauty built on restraint, intelligence, and a rare ability to let stillness speak. Hepburn's breakthrough in Roman Holiday introduced audiences to a kind of star who did not overwhelm the screen but seemed to float within it. Opposite Gregory Peck, she revealed vulnerability without fragility, wit without sharpness. Newman respected that calibration. He believed that actors who trusted subtlety possessed a deeper command than those who relied on volume. Hepburn's beauty did not compete with her performance. It dissolved into it. He once remarked that she had a grace that never tried to impress you, recognizing how rare it was for someone so luminous to appear so unguarded.
Hell, you have... Miss Impiega?
Just cut, thank you.
Just got?
In that fleeting moment, her smile arrives almost shyly, yet the frame belongs entirely to her. There is no strain in the gesture, no calculation. Newman admired that absence of effort. He understood how difficult it was to make discipline look effortless. Hepburn's training in ballet had instilled precision in her movements, but she never displayed it as technique. Instead, it became invisible structure, an architecture beneath the softness. That invisible strength defined her screen presence and gave her stillness unusual authority. As her career evolved through films like Sabrina and Breakfast at Tiffany's, Hepburn refined that balance between charm and emotional distance. She could suggest longing without melodrama, independence without defiance. Newman valued that nuance. He believed that beauty was most powerful when it invited rather than declared. Hepburn once said, "The beauty of a woman is reflected in her soul," a belief that mirrored Newman's own conviction that character deepened appearance rather than competed with it.
How do I look?
Very good. I must say I'm amazed.
There was also a modernity to her presence that felt ahead of its time. She did not rely on overt glamour or exaggerated gestures. Her fashion became iconic, yet it never overshadowed her humanity. Newman admired that balance. She could wear elegance lightly, as though it were simply another expression of her personality, rather than an accessory designed to impress. That effortlessness made her influence enduring. Beyond the screen, her commitment to humanitarian work added another dimension to Newman's admiration. As a goodwill ambassador for UNICEF, Hepburn carried the same quiet composure into some of the world's most difficult environments. There was no performance in that dedication. It was steady, consistent, sincere. Newman respected that consistency. He believed authenticity revealed itself most clearly away from cameras, and Hepburn's life reinforced the image she projected. What set her apart in his eyes was the absence of vanity. Hepburn did not seem preoccupied with preserving an image. She allowed vulnerability to remain visible, whether in interviews or in the delicate pauses between lines of dialogue. That transparency made her beauty feel accessible rather than distant. She once reflected, "As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others," revealing a worldview grounded in empathy rather than glamour.
UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador Audrey Hepburn worked tirelessly with one goal in mind.
For Newman, that empathy was inseparable from her elegance. Audrey Hepburn represented beauty shaped by restraint, guided by intelligence, and strengthened by compassion. She proved that presence does not require force, that stillness can command as fully as spectacle. In an industry often defined by excess, she chose understatement, and that choice made her unforgettable. Number 3, Elizabeth Taylor. Intensity radiated from her long before a word was spoken. Sharing the screen with Elizabeth Taylor, Paul Newman witnessed a beauty that did not wait for approval. It asserted itself. There was confidence in her gaze, boldness in her stillness, and an emotional charge that made admiration feel almost inevitable. Their collaboration in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof placed that intensity under a microscope. Adapted from Tennessee Williams's play, the film required emotional precision wrapped in volatility. Newman understood the demands of the role, but it was Taylor's presence that electrified the tension. She did not simply inhabit Maggie the cat, she sharpened her. Every glance carried implication, every pause suggested something unresolved. Newman once admitted that her eyes were so striking they felt unreal, an acknowledgement that her beauty was not merely aesthetic, it was confrontational.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Like what, Maggie?
That scene, silence becomes a weapon. Taylor holds her posture, her gaze unwavering, and the room seems to contract around her. Newman admired that fearlessness. He believed that some performers fill space, but others alter it. Taylor altered it. Her beauty never softened the intensity of her performance. It amplified it. That fusion of glamour and ferocity made her impossible to ignore. She understood the power of stillness, and she trusted it completely. Even in quiet moments, there was a current running beneath her composure, a tension that made every exchange feel charged with meaning. That control over atmosphere separated her from mere stars. Beyond their shared screen time, Taylor's career demonstrated range that defied simple categorization. From A Place in the Sun to Cleopatra, she moved between intimate drama and sweeping spectacle without losing emotional clarity. Newman respected that adaptability. He valued actors who refused to be confined by expectation. Taylor embraced scale, but she never surrendered authenticity. She once declared, "I feel very adventurous. There are so many doors to be opened," revealing a spirit that matched the daring quality of her performances. That adventurous instinct kept her work alive and unpredictable. Her public life often unfolded with the same intensity that defined her work. Relationships, headlines, triumphs, and setbacks all played out under relentless scrutiny. Yet Newman observed that Taylor never seemed diminished by the attention. If anything, it reinforced her sense of presence. She did not retreat from visibility, she absorbed it. That resilience impressed him. Beauty under pressure often fractures. Hers solidified, strengthened by challenge rather than undone by it. The scrutiny seemed to harden her resolve rather than erode her confidence. There was also a generosity beneath the boldness. Taylor's later advocacy for humanitarian causes revealed a depth of commitment that extended far beyond red carpets and premieres. Newman, himself devoted to philanthropy, recognized the sincerity in that effort. It was not image management, it was conviction. Taylor once said, "I've always admitted that I'm ruled by my passions," a candid acknowledgement of the emotional force that shaped her life and career alike. That honesty made her more compelling, not less, because it revealed the engine behind the glamour.
To be fair, we must develop a vaccine.
What lingered most for Newman was not the spectacle of her fame, but the steadiness of her will. Elizabeth Taylor represented beauty intensified by courage. She did not soften her edges to remain palatable. She allowed complexity, contradiction, and emotion to remain visible. That refusal to dilute herself made her magnetic. In her presence, admiration was not optional, it was instinctive, and instinctive beauty leaves no room for indifference. Number 4. Joanne Woodward. Some beauty reveals itself slowly, through character rather than glamour. With Joanne Woodward, Paul Newman found something far deeper than Hollywood allure. Her presence carried intelligence, warmth, and emotional precision, qualities that made admiration personal rather than public, and enduring rather than fleeting. Before their partnership became one of the most enduring in cinema, Woodward had already established herself as a performer of extraordinary depth. In The Three Faces of Eve, she portrayed a woman living with dissociative identity disorder, shifting between personalities with unsettling authenticity. The performance earned her an Academy Award and signaled a career rooted not in spectacle, but in psychological truth. Newman respected that rigor. He believed that true artistry required risk, and Woodward never avoided complexity. He once said, "She's one of the few actresses who can make you forget the camera is there." recognizing the quiet authority beneath her composure.
Honey, there are a lot of things you never seen me do before. That's no sign I don't do.
In that scene, the transformation is subtle yet complete. A slight change in posture, a recalibration of tone, and the character shifts entirely. Newman admired that restraint. There was no flourish, no insistence on recognition. Woodward trusted nuance. She allowed emotion to build gradually, like light increasing at dawn rather than exploding at noon. That patience defined her screen presence and made her performances linger long after the credits rolled. She did not chase dramatic peaks. She cultivated emotional truth. Even in silence, she communicated volumes. Their collaborations, including The Long, Hot Summer, revealed a creative rhythm built on mutual respect. Newman understood that chemistry on screen often reflected trust off screen. Woodward's steadiness grounded him. She did not compete for attention. She elevated the scene through listening. He famously joked, "I have steak at home. Why go out for hamburger?" A line delivered with humor, yet rooted in genuine devotion. Beneath the wit was admiration for her intellect and moral clarity as much as her beauty.
Mr. Quick, there's a volume of Jane Austen upstairs by my bed and a glass of hot milk that's getting cold.
Off-screen, Woodward carried the same thoughtfulness. She approached fame with measured distance, prioritizing craft and family over spectacle. Newman valued that balance. In an industry that often rewarded volatility, Woodward chose steadiness. That choice impressed him deeply. Beauty, in his view, required substance. Without it, admiration faded quickly. With Woodward, it only deepened. There was also humor between them, an ease that softened even the pressures of public life. Newman appreciated that Woodward could challenge him intellectually, debate scripts, question decisions. She was not simply a partner, but a collaborator. That dynamic enriched both their careers and their marriage. It created a foundation built not on image, but on shared curiosity and respect. They built something durable in a world known for impermanence. She once reflected, "Sexiness wears thin after a while and beauty fades, but to be married to a man who makes you laugh every day, that is a real treat," revealing a philosophy grounded in longevity rather than allure. Newman shared that belief. He admired her ability to place glamour in perspective, to value humor and partnership over image. That grounded outlook gave their relationship an authenticity rare in Hollywood. For Newman, Joanne Woodward represented beauty sustained by integrity. It was not the kind that dominated headlines or demanded applause. It was quieter, steadier, built from empathy and intelligence. She proved that the most enduring admiration is not born of spectacle, but of trust. And trust, once earned, becomes its own form of radiance, steady, unwavering, and impossible to replace. Number 5, Marilyn Monroe. Few figures embodied both radiance and fragility with such complexity. In Marilyn Monroe, Paul Newman recognized a beauty layered with vulnerability beneath the polish. What the world saw as glamour, he understood as discipline and quiet resilience, a luminous presence shaped by something far more human than image. By the time Monroe appeared in films like Some Like It Hot, her image had already crystallized into legend. Platinum hair, effortless curves, a voice that seemed to hover between innocence and seduction. Hollywood packaged her as fantasy. But Newman saw beyond the packaging. He understood how difficult it was to sustain that kind of persona under constant scrutiny. Comedy, especially the kind Monroe delivered opposite Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, required timing as precise as any dramatic performance. She once admitted, "It's all make-believe, isn't it?" revealing an awareness of the illusion she was asked to maintain.
I play the ukulele and I sing too.
Sings, too.
Well, I don't have much of a voice, but then
In that brief scene, she moves with practiced lightness, yet there is calculation behind every beat. Newman respected that effort. He believed audiences often underestimated how much discipline glamour required. Monroe rehearsed relentlessly, studied her lines, and worked with acting coaches to refine her craft. Softness that defined her public image concealed determination. Newman once observed that she possessed a softness that made people protective of her, but he also recognized the steel beneath it. He knew that sustaining that duality demanded enormous strength and emotional endurance, especially under relentless media attention. Her earlier performance in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes displayed another layer: self-aware humor. The famous musical number Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend shimmered with spectacle, yet Monroe played it with a wink of intelligence. She understood the character she embodied and subtly commented on it. That awareness fascinated Newman. He admired performers who could inhabit an image while quietly shaping it. There was agency in her performance, even when the world insisted on seeing only allure. She understood the camera, but she never let it fully define her, nor did she surrender entirely to expectation.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Off-screen, the tension between expectation and identity became more pronounced. Monroe struggled against being dismissed as decoration. She sought more challenging roles, founded her own production company, and pursued serious dramatic work, including Bus Stop and The Misfits. Newman related to that desire for autonomy. He believed that actors who demanded depth often paid a price for it. Monroe once said, "Imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring," a statement that revealed her refusal to be flattened into simplicity. The fragility the public sensed was not weakness, it was exposure. Monroe allowed audiences to glimpse uncertainty, and that vulnerability created connection. Newman valued that risk. In an industry obsessed with control, she permitted cracks to show. That willingness to remain human, even when elevated to icon status, deepened his admiration. He understood that vulnerability on screen often mirrored private battles off to us. Screen, and that honesty carried its own quiet courage. That courage, more than glamour, defined her lasting impact and cultural resonance. For Newman, Marilyn Monroe represented beauty illuminated by contradiction. She was radiant yet restless, adored yet searching. The glamour was undeniable, but it was the resilience behind it that lingered. She carried the weight of projection and still stepped into the light. And in doing so, she proved that the most unforgettable beauty is never perfect. It is profoundly human, marked by longing, strength, and unmistakable presence. Number 6. Grace Kelly. Composure can be as captivating as passion when it feels authentic. Watching Grace Kelly on screen, Paul Newman admired a beauty defined by clarity and poise rather than excess. Her elegance seemed effortless, yet beneath it lay focus and intention, a refinement grounded in quiet confidence. Kelly's performances in films such as Rear Window and To Catch a Thief revealed an actress who understood the camera intimately. Under Alfred Hitchcock's direction, she projected calm sophistication while allowing flickers of curiosity and courage to surface beneath the surface polish. Newman respected that balance. He believed that true command of a scene often came not from overt emotion, but from restraint. Kelly rarely overplayed a moment. Instead, she trusted stillness. Hitchcock once remarked that she had a sexual elegance, a phrase that captured how her composure carried subtle intensity rather than cold detachment.
Do you want to take a minute, Grace?
Oh, I'm fine. I just must be nervous to be working with the great Jimmy Stewart.
In that sequence, she moves with deliberate grace, every gesture measured yet natural. Newman admired the precision behind that naturalness. He understood that effortlessness on screen is rarely accidental. Kelly approached her roles with preparation and discipline, shaping characters who appeared serene but were never passive. Her beauty did not overwhelm the narrative, it sharpened it. She could shift a scene's energy with a glance, redirecting attention without raising her voice. That quiet authority made her presence unmistakable and refined without becoming distant. Even her silences felt articulate, carrying intention without overt display. As her career progressed, Kelly demonstrated versatility that extended beyond Hitchcock's thrillers. In The Country Girl, she portrayed vulnerability and emotional strain with a depth that challenged expectations of her polished image. Newman valued that willingness to complicate perception. He believed that beauty sustained itself when it resisted simplicity. Kelly once said, "I would like to be remembered as someone who accomplished useful deeds," revealing a perspective that prioritized purpose over celebrity. That statement resonated with Newman's own desire to be valued for contribution rather than image. It reinforced the sense that her identity extended far beyond the screen and into meaningful public life.
Wind up in a French jail for something I didn't do.
I'm going to rob Mother first or somebody else?
Her transition from Hollywood to royal life in Monaco marked a profound shift, yet it felt consistent with the steadiness she had always projected. Newman admired that she did not cling to applause. Instead, she embraced responsibility with composure. The elegance that defined her on screen translated seamlessly into diplomacy and public service. There was no theatricality in that shift, only continuity. She remained measured, thoughtful, and self-assured under new forms of scrutiny. Even the global spotlight seemed unable to disturb her equilibrium or diminish her sense of grounded purpose. Even in public appearances, there was an absence of strain. Kelly once reflected, "Emancipation of women has made them lose their mystery," a comment that revealed her awareness of perception and identity. Newman interpreted such remarks not as detachment, but as evidence of her introspection. She considered how she was seen, yet she never seemed controlled by it. That balance impressed him deeply. For Newman, Grace Kelly represented beauty shaped by discipline and dignity. She proved that refinement need not distance a person from humanity. Beneath the poise was empathy. Beneath the glamour was resolve. Her presence did not shout, it endured. In an industry driven by spectacle, she chose steadiness. And in that steadiness, Newman recognized something rare. Beauty sustained not by attention, but by integrity, quiet strength, unwavering self-possession, lasting grace, and timeless composure that continues to resonate beyond the screen. Paul Newman never spoke about beauty as if it were a competition. In Sophia Loren, he saw strength. In Audrey Hepburn, restraint. In Elizabeth Taylor, fearless intensity. In Joanne Woodward, enduring trust. In Marilyn Monroe, vulnerable resilience. In Grace Kelly, composed dignity. Together they formed not a ranking but a reflection of what he valued most. For Newman, beauty was never just appearance. It was character revealed under pressure. It was discipline behind glamour, empathy beneath elegance, courage inside contradiction. Each of these women carried something deeper than image, and in recognizing that, Newman quietly revealed himself. Because in the end, beauty fades from headlines, but presence leaves an imprint. Which of these women defines timeless beauty for you? Share your thoughts below, and if you appreciate stories that look beyond the surface, subscribe for more reflections on the legends who shaped cinema history.